Good evening, you're watching News Mongolian World. I'm your host, Tanner Kambatar. And for top stories, Chinggis Khaan Museum to open to the public on Tuesday. Made in Mongolia 2022 Expo held in Seoul. And Mongolia ranks in second place at overall standings at the Judo World Championships. And for the news, stay tuned. The Chinggis Khaan Museum is Mongolia's largest museum and holds a collection of over 8,300 objects related to the great Khans of the Mongol Empire and the Mongolian history from the Hyungmu to the end of 20th century. Only a sampling of the collected artifacts is displayed in 9 exhibition halls. The museum is in the middle of downtown Ulaanbaatar, just a short walk away from Tsukhwata Square. Construction of the museum began in 2020 and was completed in late 2021. The museum is set to open for visitors on Tuesday, October 11th. On Monday, the museum administration held a press conference to provide detailed information about the opening of the Chinggis Khaan Museum. Government Resolution 280 was approved 3 years ago, and we decided to build the museum that we all see now. This year marks the 860th anniversary of the great Chinggis Khan, and the opening ceremony of the museum will be held tomorrow at 11 a.m. at so-called horse time. As part of the great Khan's anniversary, we are planning many interesting events. We have spent more than 1 year and a half to complete the construction of this museum. This museum is located in the heart of Ulaanbaatar city. The museum building has 9 floors and comprises an area of 20,000 square meters. The showrooms are located from the 3rd to the 6th floors. In this museum, the history of Mongolia is shown in a wide and comprehensive way, comprising the period of the Hun Empire, Yuan dynasty, and the history of Mongolia of the 20th century. The artifacts displayed here comprise only about 8% of all artifacts and historical objects stored in the Institute of Science, Ulaanbaatar and regional museums. In other words, we have more than enough exhibits. 93% of the exhibits are authentic items, and the rest are the replicas of the famous exhibits stored abroad at other countries' museums. In April 2019, the government of Mongolia decided to establish the Chinggis Khan Heritage and Cultural Institute, responsible for promoting the legacy of Chinggis Khan and his role in the history of Mongolia and the world, and for safeguarding historical records and research of the 30th century. A government resolution was issued to build the Chinggis Khaan Museum in Ulaanbaatar city at the location of the Mongolian Natural History Museum. The Chinggis Khaan Museum has 15 traditional and virtual exhibition halls containing more than 8,000 exhibits and artifacts. 4 stone sculptures will be brought in from the provinces to be put on display. According to the Ministry of Culture, the possibility of purchasing more heritage items from individual collectors is being explored. Tenders for contractors have been announced for the execution of 26 museum exhibits. In terms of exhibits to be brought in from foreign countries, Mongolia's diplomatic mission abroad had been working to gain permission and reach agreements with institutions in Russia, Poland, Germany, the United Kingdom, Japan, China and Austria. The Mongolian government's Department for Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises, the Association of Mongolian Citizens in South Korea, and Michelle Expo jointly organized an exhibition highlighting Mongolians in South Korea and their engagement in the development of the SMEs in Mongolia. The event is being organized from October 5th through 11th in Seoul. The Made in Mongolia 2022 exhibition is also taking place as part of the event. Richard Bolt, our reporter in Seoul, has details. 20 companies from Mongolia are taking part in the Made in Mongolia Expo with 10 varieties of products. The organizers and participants noted that events like this create opportunities for Mongolian companies to enter new foreign markets.
This year's event is attracting many visitors and is well organized. 40 people, including private business representatives and government agency officers, are attending the event. We plan to hold our event annually. We also plan to continue our cooperation with Dondaemen district authorities. During the event, I had the chance to exchange ideas with representatives of Mongolian businesses and SMEs. We had a very fruitful dialogue and concluded that further market research should be conducted to study South Korean consumer preferences and diversify our products. The Embassy of Mongolia will continue its support and cooperation and plans to increase the number of similar events in the future. The Department for Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises and the Association of Mongolian Citizens in South Korea are jointly organizing this event. We have a lot of visitors. The bags instantly grabbed my eye. When I lifted some of the bags, they weren't heavy. They were very light. The ornamentation and decoration are quite different from ours. That was unique, but I really liked that they were very light, so I bought one for myself. I will use it when I'm going to carry a lot of stuff.
I'm really interested in Mongolia and its products. I came here as soon as I heard that the event was being organized. I think the products displayed here are high quality and not pricey. I bought some tea and plan to share it with my friends. I'm really happy that this event is being organized. This event plays an important role in boosting cooperation between our two countries. From our side, I would like to state that Dongdaemun District will continue its support for such events and exhibitions. According to official data, there are 78.5 thousand businesses actively operating in Mongolia, with 77% being small and medium-sized enterprises. SMEs represent 17.8% of GDP and 2.3% of Mongolia's exports. The exhibition will be open until October 11th. Thank you for staying with us. Now let's take a look at the currency exchange rates provided by Mongol Bank. Research has shown that a kindergarten teacher works with 33 children on average. Also, teachers of preschool education are included in the number of professionals who work continuously for 10 hours. Anchiming has been working as a kindergarten teacher for 10 years. Her work starts at 7:30 in the morning when she picks up the first child. In the evening, she works at her workplace until 7 o'clock, until the last child leaves. It is a difficult and responsible job to love and protect other people's children for 12 hours. It is not a job that anyone wants to do. As for Anchiming, she dreamed of becoming a teacher since her childhood years, but she was not interested in becoming a kindergarten teacher. On the other hand, she says that she has never regretted choosing this profession after going to the workplace, and she has come to love her work even more.
Everyone is inspired by their career. An artist is inspired by his creation. No one feels burdened if they are happy to do what they are doing instead of just talking about long working hours and low pay.
Anchiming's best partner is assistant teacher Atlum Chimik. Atlum Chimik has been working in the educational institution for 31 years.
I think that a kindergarten teacher should be a person who understands and loves children very well, has a true heart and loves the same as she loves her own child. Looking at it now, young teachers are discouraged to become kindergarten teachers.
Anchimik says that learning to read, write and to count is not the most important skill when a child enters school. Because at the very beginning, she said, she tries to teach the child the ability to freely express himself, herself, the others and to talk openly with the teacher.
I think that I listen to children very well and talk to them like I talk to my friend. Sometimes I talk to another teacher, and he or she says that if we put a hot pot of tea among us, we can continue talking for a very long time. I tell my kids how I feel in the morning. Even when I'm tired, I just come in and laugh. It's a beautiful feeling to greet the morning like that.
Anchimik's class has 40 children. She has never got tired of her chosen profession. On the contrary, she says that she is happy to be the first teacher of many of these children and to instill in them their first path to maturity. Now let's take a look at Mongolia's current affairs.
Director of the UNESCO Regional Office in Beijing, Chinggis Khaan, paid a working visit to Mongolia. Within the frame of his visit, he was received by the State Secretary of the Ministry of Digital Development and Communications, Botarirten. During the meeting, the parties exchanged views on the joint development of a master plan on communication and information technologies, the development of digital education and digital literacy within the framework of the UNESCO programs Open Science, open education resources, and the ICT competency for teachers, aimed at increasing information communication competence of teachers and their competitiveness. Shahbaz Khan, director of the UNESCO Regional Office in Beijing, noted that it is possible to connect several UNESCO World Heritage Sites in Mongolia to the internet, present them to citizens online, and further develop them as tourist areas. He also agreed to consider the National Digital Literacy Campaign and find opportunities for collaboration.
Here's the international news from our partner agencies. Japanese Vice Defense Minister Toshiro Ino on Sunday condemned North Korea's missile launches, stating Pyongyang's testing activities were absolutely unacceptable and they threaten regional and international peace and security. His comments came after North Korea fired two short-range ballistic missiles toward its western waters on Sunday, the latest of a recent barrage of weapon tests, a day after it warned that the redeployment of a U.S. aircraft carrier near the Korean peninsula was inflaming regional tensions. We are currently analyzing the details, but it fell in the Sea of Japan on the east side of the North Korean peninsula and outside of Japan's exclusive economic zone. The flight distance and such are as follows, but we are continuing to analyze details of the missiles, including a possibility that they might have been launched from the sea. Even in a short period from the end of September, this is the 7th time, and North Korea has been persistently and one-sidedly escalating provocation. North Korea's series of actions threaten the peace and stability of Japan, as well as the region and in the international community, and is absolutely unacceptable. South Korea's Joint Chief of Staff said in a statement that it detected two missile launches Sunday between 1:48 a.m. and 1:58 a.m. from the northeastern coastal city of Buncheon. It added that South Korea's military has boosted its surveillance posture and maintains a readiness in close coordination with the United States. During a briefing in Tokyo, Ino confirmed the launches. He said that the weapons could be submarine-launched ballistic missiles. North Korea's pursuit of an ability to fire missiles from a submarine would constitute an alarming development for its rivals because it's harder to detect such launches in advance. North Korea was believed to have last tested a missile launch from a submarine in May. The South Korean and Japanese militaries addressed that the missiles flew about 350 kilometers and reached maximum altitude of 90 to 100 kilometers before falling into the waters between the Korean peninsula and Japan. North Korea has launched more than 40 ballistic and cruise missiles in over 20 different events this year, exploiting a division in the United Nations Security Council deepened over Russia's war on Ukraine as a window to speed up arms development. A Russian barrage pounded apartment buildings and other targets in the Ukrainian city of Zaporizhzhia, killing at least 17 people and wounding dozens, officials said on Sunday. The blast in the city, which sits in the region Moscow, as claimed as its own, blew out windows in adjacent buildings and left at least one high-rise apartment building partially collapsed. The multiple strikes came after an explosion Saturday caused the partial collapse of a bridge linking the Crimean Peninsula with Russia, damaging an important supply artery for the Russian Kremlin's faltering war effort in southern Ukraine and hitting a towering symbol of Russian power in the region. City Council Secretary Anatoly Kurtev said rockets struck Zaporizhzhia overnight and that at least 20 private homes and 50 apartment buildings were damaged. At least 40 people were hospitalized and dozens more were being treated for moderate to light injuries, Kurtev posted on his Telegram channel. The Ukrainian military also confirmed the attack, saying there were dozens of casualties.
There was an explosion. Everything was shaking. We don't know. We were here. If not, I don't know what could have happened to us. Between the walls, here is the chair, and everything was flying and I was screaming.
This is international terrorism, you can't be safe from it.
There is nothing in the area, no industry, no military factories. Why are they bombing us? Why?
The 73-year-old Tatiana and her husband Alexei Lazunko ran to the middle of the apartment when the sirens started sounding on Saturday night and remained between two walls to be better protected. In recent weeks, Russia has repeatedly struck the southern city, which is in the Ukrainian-controlled part of a region that Russian President Vladimir Putin annexed in a violation of international law last week. At least 90 people also died in Russian missile strikes on apartment buildings in Zaporizhzhia on Thursday. Now let's take a look at our regular feature of sports. The 2022 Judo World Championship is currently underway in Tashkent, the capital of Uzbekistan. A total of 18 athletes are representing Mongolia, and as of today they have 1 gold, 1 silver and 1 bronze medal, and they are in second place behind Japan in the team standings. Mongolian Ingridlin Thaugtaro reached the world podium for the first time on the second day of the competition. She was joined on the third step by reigning champion Jessica Klimkite of Canada after she sealed the double Wazari win against Israel's Timna Nelson Levy. Thaugtaro then triumphed against Soichi Hashimoto to ensure Japan did not extend their lead in the medal standings in the men's under 73 kg decider. The bout went to the golden score round with Hashimoto in a promising position. He then went for the leg sweep from behind, but it caused his other foot to slip out from under him. The pair both fell backwards together, but Thaugtaro managed to get himself on top of his opponent in midair to secure the Wazari point for gold upon landing. 26-year-old Thaugtaro is the bronze medalist of the Tokyo Olympics and 2-time silver medalist of the World Championships. Thaugtaro is the 5th athlete from Mongolia to become the world champion in judo. Max Verstappen was crowned Formula 1 world champion in bizarre circumstances following a dominant victory at the Japanese Grand Prix on Sunday. It has been a chaotic race stalled by rain and then restarted before the case continued afterwards, with confusion reigning over whether Verstappen had defended his title. For much of the race it seemed as if the Red Bull driver would be forced to wait until the next Grand Prix in Austin to secure the driver's title for the second time in his career, as the race was red flagged due to rain. When the race did begin again, it was much shortened, seemingly leaving less points available, and with Verstappen's rival Charles Leclerc crossing the line in second, he seemed mathematically still in the title hunt. So when Verstappen finished, he initially only celebrated a race victory, his 12th of this season, and completed his first post-race interview accordingly. But Ferrari's Leclerc had cut to the final corner under pressure from Verstappen's teammate Sergio Perez and incurred a 5-second time penalty after the race finished, ending his title challenge.
Well, what can I say? Incredible, of course. Yeah, very special also to do it here in front of all the Honda people, all the Japanese fans. Incredible.
According to FIA Motorsport's governing body, full points rather than staggered points could be awarded since the race was resumed after a rain delay, giving Verstappen a 113-point lead in the World Championships with only 112 left to win on the track. He only needs 1 more victory from the remaining 4 more races to equal the record for most Grand Prix victories won in a single season, currently held by Michael Schumacher in 2004 and Sebastian Vettel in 2013. Here's the weather forecast of all major cities. Well, that's all for now, and thank you for staying with us. We will see you tomorrow with more news and updates. Have a nice evening. Goodbye.